6.4, Factoring Polynomials. So we're going to add on to our dividing that we learned the other day. And part of the reason why we learn to divide is so that we can actually see factors if these are factorable. So example 1, determine whether the given binomial is a factor of the polynomial. So we're going to see if this is a factor of this. You've got two ways of doing it. You can either do it synthetically or you can divide long division. Sometimes you have to do long division, but sometimes it's up to you. Because this is a 1 right here, I'm going to prefer to do synthetic. So if it's synthetic, remember we put the opposite of this in the box. And I look and make sure I have an x squared, a regular x, and a no x. And I'm going to use these coefficients again. So my 1, 2, and negative 3. So if you remember from doing these synthetically, we always bring the first one down, take this number times the box. 1 times 3 is 3. And we add this row. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. We add these two. Negative 3 plus 15 is 12. Okay, this is 12 here. So no, this is not a factor. So to be a factor, the remainder has to be 0. To be a factor, the remainder has to be 0. Since that's not 0, it can't be a factor. So we're going to do this. B is x plus 4. We've got this big long one right here. So remember, opposite of that is negative 4. We've got an exponent of 4, an exponent of 3, but I do not see an exponent of 2. So remember, we need to put our plus 0x squared in here. A regular x and a no x. So 2, 8, 0, 2, 8. We need to do this one now. Remember, the 2 comes down. First one comes down. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Add 8 plus negative 8 makes 0. We are adding. 0 times 4 is still 0. 0 plus 0 is still 0. 0 times negative 4 is still 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 times negative 4 makes negative 8. 8 plus negative 8 is 0. Because this has a remainder of 0, yes, this is a factor. C. X plus 2, we've got a regular squared, a regular x, we've got squared, regular x, and no x. So opposite of 2 is negative 2. 4, negative 2, 5. Remember to drop down our 4. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Negative 2 plus negative 8 makes negative 10. Negative 10 times negative 2 makes positive 20. 5 plus 20 is 25. So because that's a number other than 0, no, it's not a factor. Now this one. We have to do long division with this one because this number up here is a 3. It's not a 1. So if we remember how to set this up, it goes on the outside. And on the inside here, we have to make sure we've got a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a regular x, and a no x. So we have all of our pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and write it all. 3x to the 4th minus 6x cubed plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 30. Now if you remember, we need to see how many times this first one goes into this first one. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so I can write my 1 up here. I don't have to. I have 4 x's. I'm taking 1 out, which means I need 3 more. Now I have to take this one times this one. X cubed times 3x makes a 3, and there's 3 plus 1 is 4. But I also have to take this one times this one. Don't forget that part. So negative 6 times x cubed is negative 6x cubed. Remember to subtract these. 3 minus 3 goes away. Negative 6 minus negative 6, those two turn into a plus, so they're actually the same, so they also go away. So this entire thing is 0. So what happens if it's 0? Well, I'll bring down the next two available parts. So I'm going to bring down my 6x squared and my plus 3x. So 3x goes into 6x squared. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so I'm going to put a plus 2. I'm going to leave a blank because that canceled out. Either that or I can put plus 0 in there. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. We have 2 x's. I take out 1, so that means I have 1 left. Go ahead and multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. 2 times negative 6 makes negative 12. There's only 1x. Don't forget to minus. 6 minus 6 is 0. 3 minus negative 12 minus a negative makes a plus. So it's 15x. Then bring down our minus 30. Start again. 3 goes into 15 5 times. I have an x, but I took it out, so I don't have any x's left. So take that 5 and multiply. 5 times 3 is 15x. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. Once again, subtract. 15 minus 15 goes away. Negative 30 minus negative 30, so plus again, negative 30 plus 30 goes away. So I have a 0 down here as a remainder. So since my remainder is 0, yes, this is a factor. Try these two on your own.